Ever wondered about the backstory of your zodiac sign? How did it get its name, symbol, and meaning? In this video, we'll dive into the fascinating myths that gave each zodiac sign its identity and uncover the stories that shaped the zodiac as we know it today. The zodiac signs have ancient origins rooted in the rich tapestry of Greek mythology and even beyond. While the symbols and names are often associated with Greek stories, the concept of the zodiac itself predates Greece, tracing back to the Babylonians over 2,000 years ago. They were the first to divide the sky into 12 segments, corresponding to the 12 lunar cycles in a year. Later, the Greeks adopted this system, blending it with their own mythology and giving each segment a distinct personality. Aries. The origin story of Aries is tied to the myth of the golden ram in Greek mythology, particularly the tale of Phrixus and Helle, and their miraculous escape on the back of the ram. This myth explains both the symbol and the characteristics associated with Aries, which is known for courage, leadership, and initiation. Phrixus and Helle were the children of Athamas, the king of Boeotia, and his first wife Nephele. After Nephele returned to the heavens, Athamas married Ino, who became jealous of her stepchildren and devised a plot to get rid of them. Ino tricked Athamas into believing that the only way to save his kingdom from a famine was to sacrifice Phrixus. Desperate to save her children, Nephele sent a golden ram to rescue them. The ram was a gift from the gods, born from the sea god Poseidon and capable of flying through the sky. Its fleece was made of pure gold and held magical powers. Phrixus and Helle climbed onto the back of the golden ram, which flew them away from danger. As they soared over the sea, Helle tragically lost her grip and fell into the waters below. The place where she drowned was later named the Hellespont, modern-day Dardanelles, a strait in Turkey in her memory. Phrixus, however, safely made it to the kingdom of Colchis, where he was welcomed by King Aeetes. In gratitude for his rescue, Phrixus sacrificed the ram to Zeus and hung its golden fleece in a sacred grove, where it became the legendary golden fleece sought by Jason and the Argonauts. As a reward for its service, Zeus placed the golden ram among the stars as the constellation Aries, where it continues to shine as a symbol of courage, protection, and leadership. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, representing new beginnings, action, and the spark of life, traits that resonate with the ram's role as a savior and initiator of a new chapter for Phrixus. The ram, known for its determination and strength, perfectly embodies the qualities of Aries. In astrology, Aries is a cardinal fire sign, representing energy, boldness, and the drive to take action. Just as the golden ram flew to rescue Phrixus, Aries symbolizes the ability to charge forward, initiate new ventures, and overcome challenge with courage and bravery. The origin story of Aries is a tale of rescue, self-sacrifice, and renewal. The golden ram's journey through the skies, carrying Phrixus to safety, reflects Aries' themes of bold action, leadership, and the drive to protect and start anew. The myth of the Golden Fleece, forever connected to the constellation Aries, reminds us of the power of courage and the pursuit of greatness. The origin story of Taurus is linked to one of the most famous and romantic myths in Greek mythology, the tale of Zeus and Europa. This myth explains the bull symbol of Taurus and reflects the sign's association with love, beauty, strength, and sensuality. Europa was a beautiful Phoenician princess, the daughter of King Agenor. One day, while she was gathering flowers by the seashore with her companions, she caught the attention of Zeus, the king of the gods. Zeus was immediately enchanted by her beauty and decided to win her affection. However, Zeus, knowing that his usual form might frighten her, devised a clever plan to approach her in a gentler way. Zeus transformed himself into a magnificent white bull. This bull was no ordinary creature, it was extraordinarily beautiful, with snow-white fur that gleamed in the sunlight, and a peaceful, majestic demeanour. The sight of the bull was so striking and serene that Europa, without fear, began to stroke and admire the creature. Eventually, she climbed onto its back. Once Europa was comfortably seated on the bull's back, Zeus seized the opportunity. He swiftly charged into the sea, carrying Europa away from her homeland. The bull, now revealed as Zeus, swam across the waters, taking Europa all the way to the island of Crete. Upon arriving, Zeus revealed his true form, and Europa became his lover. To honor Europa, Zeus made her the first queen of Crete, and she bore him 3 sons, one of whom was Minos, the future king of Crete. Zeus also immortalized the form of the bull in the heavens by placing it among the stars as the constellation Taurus, forever commemorating the event. The constellation Taurus, the bull, is one of the oldest and most recognizable constellations in the night sky. It represents the bull that Zeus transformed into during his pursuit of Europa. The constellation is most famous for containing the bright star Aldebaran, known as the Eye of the Bull, and the beautiful Pleiades star cluster, also known as the 7 Sisters. The story of Taurus reflects the qualities of sensuality, love, and strength. In astrology, Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty, and the myth of Europa embodies these characteristics. The bull is also a symbol of fertility and earthly pleasures, traits that align with Taurus's association with stability, comfort, and the enjoyment of life's pleasures. Taurus is an earth sign, representing the physical world, material wealth, and a deep connection to nature. The myth of Zeus as the gentle yet powerful bull mirrors Taurus's calm yet strong demeanour, emphasizing loyalty, patience, and perseverance. The origin story of Taurus is a tale of transformation, love, and strength. Zeus's transformation into the bull to woo Europa speaks to the Taurian qualities of persistence, attraction, and protection. Just as the bull carried Europa across the sea, Taurus carries the traits of stability, loyalty, and a love for the finer things in life, symbolized by the constellation that shines brightly in the spring sky. The origin story of Gemini revolves around the myth of the twins Castor and Pollux, known together as the Dioscuri. Their tale is one of brotherhood, loyalty, and the desire to protect one another, reflecting the duality and bond often associated with the zodiac sign Gemini. Castor and Pollux were the twin sons of Leda, the queen of Sparta, but they had different fathers. Their mother, Leda, was married to Tyndareus, the king of Sparta, who fathered Castor. However, on the same night, Zeus, the king of the gods, visited Leda in the form of a swan and fathered Pollux. As a result, Castor was mortal, while Pollux was immortal, being the son of a god. Despite their different origins, the brothers shared a deep bond and were inseparable, excelling in different talents. Castor was known for his skills in horse riding and warfare, while Pollux was renowned for his strength and boxing abilities. Castor and Pollux shared many adventures together, including their participation in the Argonauts' quest to retrieve the Golden Fleece with Jason. They were celebrated heroes in their own right, often regarded as protectors of sailors due to Pollux's association with seamanship. According to myth, whenever a ship was in danger during a storm, the twins would appear as St. Elmo's fire, a glowing electrical phenomenon, to guide sailors safely to shore. While Castor and Pollux had a strong bond, their mortal and immortal natures would eventually test their relationship. In one of their many adventures, they engaged in a feud with their cousins Idas and Lynceus over 2 women, Phoebe and Hilaira, whom both pairs of brothers sought to marry. In the ensuing battle, Castor was fatally wounded. Pollux, devastated by the death of his twin, pleaded with Zeus to allow him to share his immortality with Castor, so they could remain together. Moved by Pollux's love for his brother, Zeus offered him two choices. Pollux could either remain immortal on Mount Olympus without Castor, or he could share his immortality, with both brothers spending half their time in the heavens and half their time in the underworld. Pollux chose the latter, demonstrating his loyalty and the unbreakable bond between the brothers. In response, Zeus honored their connection by placing them in the sky as the constellation Gemini, where they could remain together for eternity. The constellation Gemini is depicted as two figures standing side by side, symbolizing Castor and Pollux. It contains two bright stars named after the twins, Castor and Pollux, which are among the most visible stars in the night sky. The constellation is a reminder of the twins' brotherhood, unity, and their journey between life and death. The story of Castor and Pollux captures the essence of Gemini's dual nature, the balance between opposites such as life and death, mortal and immortal, light and dark. In astrology, Gemini is an air sign, known for its intellectual curiosity, adaptability, and versatility. Like the twins, Gemini energy is often associated with duality, communication, and relationships. Gemini's ruling planet, Mercury, the messenger god, also ties into the myth, reflecting the sign's quick-thinking, communicative, and multifaceted personality. Just as Castor and Pollux shared different skills, Gemini individuals are known for their ability to navigate different roles, perspectives, and social circles. The origin story of Gemini is a tale of love, sacrifice, and eternal companionship. Castor and Pollux's deep brotherly bond, their willingness to share both life and death, embodies the core traits of Gemini: duality, connection, and a desire to unite opposites. As the constellation Gemini shines in the sky, it serves as a symbol of unity, reflecting the twins' enduring relationship and the dynamic energy that defines the zodiac sign. The origin story of Cancer is tied to the Greek myth of the giant crab sent by the goddess Hera during the battle between Hercules and the Lernaean Hydra. This tale, although brief, represents the courage, loyalty, and protective nature associated with the zodiac sign Cancer. Hercules, the greatest hero in Greek mythology, was tasked with completing the famous 12 labors as penance for killing his family under a spell of madness cast by the goddess Hera. One of these labors was to slay the Lernaean Hydra, a monstrous many-headed serpent that lived in the swamps near the city of Lerna. The Hydra was nearly invincible because every time Hercules cut off one of its heads, 2 more would grow in its place. Hera, who harbored a deep hatred for Hercules, as he was the illegitimate son of Zeus and a mortal woman, sought to make this labor even more difficult for him. In her attempt to thwart Hercules, she sent a giant crab named Karkanos to attack him while he battled the Hydra. As Hercules fought the Hydra, Karkanos, the crab, emerged from the swamp and pinched Hercules' foot with its claws, trying to aid the Hydra in defeating him. Though the crab's efforts were valiant, Hercules was too powerful. He quickly crushed the crab under his foot, ending its life. Despite the crab's failure, Hera honored its bravery and loyalty by placing it in the night sky as the constellation Cancer. The crab's role in the battle may have been small, but its willingness to fight for a cause larger than itself, even in the face of certain defeat, reflects the themes of protection, loyalty, and sacrifice that define the zodiac sign Cancer. The constellation Cancer, represented by the crab, is relatively faint compared to other constellations, but it holds a special place in the zodiac. Its placement in the sky commemorates Karkanos's bravery and its connection to the watery, nurturing qualities of the sign. The myth of Cancer emphasizes the sign's core traits of selflessness, devotion, and the instinct to protect loved ones, even when the odds are against them. Cancer, a water sign, is associated with emotions, intuition, and care, much like the crab that tried to defend the Hydra. Cancers are known for their nurturing and protective nature, often putting others' needs above their own, much like Karkinos, who risked his life to help Hera. The crab's hard outer shell also symbolizes Cancer's tendency to build emotional defenses, guarding their sensitive inner world. The origin story of Cancer is a tale of loyalty, courage, and quiet strength. Though Karkinos' role in the myth may seem small, his willingness to fight on behalf of a greater cause reflects Cancer's protective instincts and deep sense of devotion. As a constellation, Cancer reminds us of the power of perseverance, emotional resilience, and the protective spirit that defines those born under this sign. The origin story of Leo also comes from the tale of Hercules and his first labor, the slaying of the Nemean lion. This myth explains the Zodiac sign Leo's association with bravery, strength, and leadership. As part of his punishment for killing his family, Hercules was commanded to complete 12 labors, a series of near-impossible tasks to atone for his actions. The first labor assigned to him by King Eurystheus was to kill the Nemean lion, a monstrous beast that terrorized the region of Nemea. The Nemean lion was no ordinary creature. It had an impenetrable hide, making it immune to weapons such as swords, arrows, or spears. This lion was the offspring of Typhon and Echidna, both of whom were monstrous figures in Greek mythology. The lion's reign of terror included attacking villages, killing livestock, and being a menace to the people of Nemea. When Hercules arrived in Nemea, he initially tried to kill the lion with his bow and arrows, but soon realized that they had no effect on the creature due to its invulnerable skin. Hercules then resorted to his immense strength and decided to fight the lion in close combat. After an intense struggle, Hercules managed to trap the lion in its cave. Using his bare hands, he strangled the lion to death, showcasing not only his strength, but also his bravery and persistence in the face of a seemingly unbeatable foe. After slaying the Nemean lion, Hercules realized the lion's hide was a powerful asset, so he skinned the lion using its own claws, since no other tool could pierce the hide. He then wore the lion's pelt as armor, which became one of his iconic symbols throughout his adventures. The lion's head also became a part of his helmet, further emphasizing his heroism and strength. To honor the bravery of both Hercules and the lion was placed in the heavens by the gods as the constellation Leo. Leo became one of the most prominent constellations in the sky, particularly associated with the height of summer, when the sun is strong and the days are long. The story of the Nemean lion ties directly into Leo's core traits of strength, courage, and leadership. In astrology, Leo is a fire sign ruled by the sun and is associated with self-confidence, creativity, and a natural flair for leadership. The lion, the king of the jungle, symbolizes the regal nature and leadership qualities that Leo embodies. The sign is also known for its charisma, boldness, and a desire to stand out and be noticed, traits shared by both Hercules and the mighty lion he defeated. The origin story of Leo is a tale of heroism, strength, and resilience. Hercules' victory over the invulnerable Nemean lion symbolizes Leo's ability to conquer obstacles and emerge victorious through sheer will and bravery. As the constellation Leo shines brightly in the sky, it serves as a reminder of the power and leadership embodied by those born under this sign, reflecting the traits of the mighty lion who inspired it. The origin story of Virgo is closely tied to the myth of Astrea, the Greek goddess of innocence and purity, and the golden age of humanity. Virgo is often associated with themes of justice, purity, and harvest, reflecting Astrea's role as the goddess of justice and her connection to agriculture. In Greek mythology, Astrea was the daughter of Zeus and Themis, the goddess of divine law and order. Astrea personified justice, innocence, and purity. During the mythical Golden Age, a time of peace and prosperity, Astrea lived among humans. In this era, people were just, kind, and lived in harmony with nature, without the need for laws or courts, because everyone acted virtuously. Astrea's presence on Earth's bound this time of balance and fairness, where there was no war, famine, or greed, and people coexisted with the gods in a state of bliss. As time passed, the world began to descend into corruption. The Silver Age followed the Golden Age, bringing with it growing discontent and the loss of the innocence and purity that once defined humanity. Each successive age saw further decline in morals and justice, and by the Bronze Age, violence, greed, and corruption became rampant. Astrea, disillusioned with humanity's increasing wickedness, was the last of the gods to remain on Earth. But even she could no longer endure the widespread injustice and evil that overtook the world during the Iron Age, the age of hardship and cruelty. Saddened by humanity's fall from grace, Astrea eventually left Earth and returned to the heavens. After departing Earth, Astrea was placed among the stars by Zeus as the constellation Virgo, where she continues to watch over humanity. Virgo is often depicted as a maiden holding a sheaf of wheat, symbolizing her connection to the harvest and the idea of fertility and nourishment. The wheat also reflects Virgo's association with the earth, nature, and agriculture, linking the sign to the end of summer and the harvest season. The story of Astrea captures the essence of Virgo's qualities: purity, service, and a desire for justice. As a mutable earth sign, Virgo represents practicality, precision, and an attention to detail, traits that reflect Astrea's role as a goddess of justice and her connection to the earth's cycles. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, which also ties into Astrea's role as a divine figure overseeing the moral order of humanity. Virgo energy is often about service to others, helping, healing, and maintaining order, much like Astrea's efforts to bring fairness and balance to the world. Some myths suggest that Astrea will one day return to Earth during a future Golden Age, known as the Age of Aquarius. In this age, peace, prosperity, and justice will be restored, and Astrea will once again walk among humanity as the embodiment of fairness and virtue. The origin story of Virgo is a tale of innocence, purity, and the pursuit of justice. Astrea's departure from Earth marks the end of an era of moral clarity, but her placement in the stars as the constellation Virgo ensures that her spirit endures. Virgo's connection to the harvest and its role as a sign of service and practicality echo Astrea's dedication to nurturing humanity and maintaining balance. Those born under the sign of Virgo embody the qualities of selflessness, hard work, and a deep-rooted desire to improve the world around them. The origin story of Libra, the zodiac sign symbolized by the scales, is closely tied to themes of justice, balance, and fairness. Libra is the only zodiac sign represented by an inanimate object, and its story is often associated with the goddess Themis or Astrea, both of whom were closely linked to divine law and order in Greek mythology. The scales represent equilibrium, reflecting Libra's connection to harmony, fairness, and the search for justice. One of the key myths linked to Libra is that of Themis, the Greek goddess of justice, divine law, and order. Themis was a Titaness and the daughter of Uranus, sky, and Gaia, earth. She's often depicted holding a pair of scales, symbolizing her role as a goddess who balanced truth and fairness. Themis presided over the moral and legal order of the universe, ensuring that both humans and gods acted in accordance with divine law. She was an advisor to Zeus, helping him make decisions that were just and fair. The scales, which are associated with Themis, symbolize the ability to weigh opposing arguments and come to fair conclusions, qualities at the heart of the Libra archetype. In Roman mythology, Themis's counterpart was Justitia, or Lady Justice, who is also depicted holding scales and often blindfolded to signify impartiality. This imagery of balance and justice deeply connects with Libra's zodiac identity. Libra is also connected to the myth of Astrea, the virgin goddess of innocence and justice. Astrea, like Themis, was associated with fairness and the enforcement of moral laws. During the golden age of humanity, Astrea lived on Earth among humans, helping to maintain peace, balance, and harmony. However, as the ages progressed and humanity became more corrupt and unjust, Astrea, disillusioned with human cruelty, departed from Earth. She ascended to the heavens, where she became the constellation Virgo. According to some interpretations, the scales of justice that Astrea carried were set next to her in the sky, forming the constellation Libra. This connection between Virgo and Libra emphasizes their shared focus on morality, fairness, and service to others. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the concept of the scales of justice also appears in the form of the weighing of the heart ceremony, which occurred after death. The deceased's heart was placed on one side of a scale, while the feather of Maat, the Egyptian goddess of truth and justice, was placed on the other. If the heart was lighter than the feather, it meant the person had lived a just life and could enter the afterlife. If the heart was heavier, it indicated a life of wrongdoing, and the soul would be devoured by the monster Ammit. Though this myth is Egyptian rather than Greek, it further emphasizes Libra's symbolic association with balance and judgment, ensuring that fairness prevails in the cosmic order. The scales of Libra symbolize the sign's search for balance in all aspects of life, whether in relationships, decision-making, or the pursuit of justice. Libra's ruling planet is Venus, which is associated with beauty, harmony, and diplomacy. This makes Libra inclined toward cooperation, compromise, and creating a peaceful and fair environment. Libra energy is often about weighing options, considering all sides of an issue, and striving to bring harmony where there is discord. Like the scales, those born under Libra are often viewed as mediators, with an innate sense of fairness and a desire to see things in balance. The origin story of Libra is one of divine justice and equilibrium. Whether through the myth of Themis, the goddess of law and order, or Astrea, the bringer of justice, Libra's connection to the scales represents the sign's deep-rooted association with fairness, balance, and the quest for equality. Libra's role in the zodiac reflects the ongoing effort to bring peace, harmony, and justice into the world, symbolized by the balanced scales in the sky. The origin story of Scorpio is rooted in Greek mythology, particularly in the myth of Orion, the great hunter, and his eventual downfall. Scorpio is symbolized by the scorpion, a creature of intensity, power, and mystery. This zodiac sign is associated with themes of death, rebirth, transformation, and the uncovering of hidden truths, all qualities reflected in its mythological origin. Orion was a famous giant and hunter in Greek mythology, known for his unmatched skill and strength. There are several variations of the story involving Orion and the scorpion, but all center around Orion's arrogance and a fatal encounter with the Scorpion. In one version of the myth, Orion became boastful about his hunting prowess, claiming he could kill every animal on Earth. This boast angered Gaia, the Earth goddess, who was protective of all living creatures. To punish Orion for his hubris, Gaia sent a giant scorpion to challenge him. The scorpion, much like Scorpio in astrological symbolism, represented hidden danger and formidable power. Despite his great skill as a hunter, Orion was no match for the scorpion's stealth and deadly sting. The scorpion fatally wounded Orion, ending his life. In another variation, Orion became a close companion of the goddess Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. His hunting skills impressed Artemis, and they spent much time together, hunting in the wilderness. However, Orion's closeness to Artemis sparked the jealousy of her brother, Apollo. In an effort to protect his sister, or perhaps out of envy, Apollo devised a plan to rid Orion from her life. He sent a scorpion to kill Orion, and the deadly creature's sting brought about Orion's demise. After Orion's death, both Orion and the scorpion were placed among the stars as constellations. To commemorate their battle, the gods placed the scorpion in the sky as the constellation Scorpio, while Orion was placed on the opposite side of the sky as the constellation Orion. To this day, the two constellations never appear in the night sky at the same time. When Scorpio rises in the east, Orion sets in the west, symbolizing the eternal chase and conflict between them. The scorpion's sting and deadly nature represent Scorpio's connection to transformation, death, and rebirth. Much like the scorpion hiding in the shadows, Scorpio is associated with the unseen, the mysterious, and the powerful forces that lie beneath the surface. Scorpio's energy is intense, emotional, and driven by a desire for truth and transformation. In astrology, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of the underworld, which reflects the sign's connection to deep psychological exploration, the uncovering of secrets, and the cycle of life and death. This transformative energy is at the core of Scorpio's nature, much like the deadly sting of the scorpion that brings an end, but also signifies a new beginning. The origin story of Scorpio is a tale of challenge, strength, and the consequences of pride. The myth of Orion and the scorpion illustrates the dangers of arrogance and the inevitability of transformation and death. As a zodiac sign, Scorpio represents the deeper forces of life, the power to destroy and rebuild, and the hidden mysteries that shape existence. Just as the scorpion stealthily stings its prey, Scorpio is a sign that confronts the darkness, uncovers truths, and transforms through the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. The origin story of Sagittarius is connected to the myth of Chiron, the wise and noble centaur, and his role as a teacher and healer. Sagittarius is symbolized by the archer, represented as a centaur with a bow and arrow, embodying the qualities of adventure, wisdom, and the pursuit of higher knowledge. In Greek mythology, Chiron was a unique centaur, different from others of his kind. While most centaurs were wild and unruly, Chiron was known for his wisdom, intelligence, and compassion. He was a son of the Titan Cronus and the nymph Philyra, which granted him immortality and noble qualities. Chiron was highly skilled in medicine, music, archery, and the art of healing, and he became a renowned teacher to many famous heroes, including Achilles, Asclepius, Hercules, and Jason. Chiron's role as a mentor and healer reflects the Sagittarian traits of teaching, learning, and seeking higher truths. Much like the archer aiming his arrow toward the stars, Chiron sought to impart knowledge and wisdom to his students, helping them reach their full potential. Despite his immortality and wisdom, Chiron's life was marked by tragedy. One day, While Hercules was visiting Chiron, an accident occurred that would change the centaur's fate. Hercules was fighting off a group of wild centaurs, and during the battle one of Hercules' arrows, dipped in the poisonous blood of the Lernaean Hydra, struck Chiron by mistake. Though the wound was not fatal because of Chiron's immortality, it caused him immense and eternal suffering. Despite his great healing abilities, Chiron could not heal himself, and the pain became unbearable. This part of the myth reflects the Sagittarian duality between immense strength and the vulnerability of the human experience. Chiron, unable to endure the agony of his wound, chose to make a noble sacrifice. He offered to give up his immortality to end his suffering. In doing so, he took the place of Prometheus, who had been condemned to eternal torment for giving fire to humanity. Chiron's act of selflessness allowed Prometheus to be freed, and, in exchange, Chiron was granted peace through death. To honor Chiron's noble character, Zeus placed him among the stars as the constellation Sagittarius, symbolizing his connection to knowledge, healing, and the search for truth. In this way, Sagittarius reflects the philosophical and spiritual journey of seeking higher meaning and understanding. Sagittarius is represented by the centaur Archer, a figure with the lower body of a horse and the upper body of a man, aiming his bow and arrow toward the heavens. This dual form reflects the balance between physical strength and intellectual pursuit. The centaur's connection to horses also symbolizes freedom, adventure, and a love of exploration, all core traits of Sagittarius. The bow and arrow, aimed upward, symbolize aspiration, a desire for higher knowledge, and the quest for truth. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, and philosophy, further emphasizing the sign's association with wisdom, travel, and optimism. The origin story of Sagittarius is a tale of wisdom, sacrifice, and the pursuit of higher knowledge. Chiron's role as a healer, teacher, and wise centaur embodies the qualities of Sagittarius: an unquenchable thirst for learning, the quest for truth, and a love of freedom and exploration. The story of Chiron's suffering and ultimate sacrifice also highlights the Sagittarian theme of transformation through adversity, showing that true wisdom often comes from life's greatest challenges. As the archer in the stars, Sagittarius aims for the heights of knowledge and understanding, ever pursuing new horizons. The origin story of Capricorn, symbolized by the sea goat, traces back to ancient myths that blend both earth and water elements, symbolizing Capricorn's connection to both ambition and emotional depth. Capricorn's myth is most often associated with the story of Prycus, the ancient sea goat who ruled over time and the sea. Additionally, the myth of the god Pan and his transformation into a goatfish also plays a key role in Capricorn's mythological roots. Prycus was a mythical creature known as a sea goat, a being with the upper body of a goat and the lower body of a fish. He was created by the god Cronus, also known as Saturn, the ruler of time, and shared a deep connection with the control of time and destiny. Prycus lived in the sea with his children, who were also sea goats. These creatures were intelligent and had the ability to speak, and they thrived in the ocean's depths. However, Prycus's children had a habit of wandering toward the shore, where they would leave the sea and lose their fishtails. Once they became land-dwelling goats, they would also lose their intelligence and connection to their aquatic heritage. Desperate to stop his children from losing their unique sea goat nature, Prycus used his power over time to reverse their fate, turning time back whenever one of his children reached the shore. However, no matter how many times he turned back time, the same events would unfold, and his children would once again head to the shore, becoming ordinary goats. Prychus eventually realized that he could not change the fate of his children, no matter how many times he reversed time. Overcome with loneliness and sadness, he accepted that he could not prevent them from transforming into land-dwelling creatures. In his sorrow, Prychus begged Cronus to let him die, but because he was immortal, he could not die. Instead, Cronus granted him eternal life in the sky as the constellation Capricorn. There, Prychus could watch over the earth and sea forever, observing the world below without the pain of trying to change what was inevitable. The story of Prychus emphasizes Capricorn's themes of duty, time, and the acceptance of life's limitations. Another important myth linked to Capricorn is the story of the god Pan, the Greek god of the wild, shepherds, and flocks. Pan was a half-man, half-goat deity, often associated with nature, music, and fertility. His myth explains the goatfish symbolism of Capricorn. One day Pan found himself fleeing from the monstrous Typhon, the deadliest creature in Greek mythology. In a desperate attempt to escape, Pan leaped into the Nile River and transformed himself to hide. However, because the transformation was rushed, only his lower half changed into a fish, while his upper half remained a goat. This half-goat, half-fish form is the creature that became associated with the constellation Capricorn, reflecting the dual nature of the sign: earthly ambition combined with emotional depth and adaptability. Capricorn's symbol, the sea-goat, represents a blend of the practical and the mystical. The goat half of the creature is grounded, ambitious, and determined, always striving to climb the highest peaks, much like Capricorns in their pursuit of success and achievement. The fishtail represents the emotional, spiritual, and intuitive side of Capricorn, showing that beneath the hard work and determination lies a deep connection to the inner emotional world and the flow of life. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of discipline, responsibility, and time, which reflects the sign's association with hard work, perseverance, and long-term goals. The myth of Prychus emphasizes these qualities, showing how time and fate play crucial roles in Capricorn's journey. The origin story of Capricorn is a tale of duty, sacrifice, and the acceptance of fate. Whether through the story of Prychus, the sea-goat of time, or the transformation of Pan into the goatfish, Capricorn's myth reflects the sign's connection to ambition, responsibility, and the balance between the material and emotional realms. Capricorns are known for their determination, patience, and ability to navigate both the practical demands of life and the deeper currents of their emotional and spiritual selves. The constellation Capricorn serves as a reminder of the endurance required to achieve greatness, as well as the wisdom that comes from understanding the limits of time and fate. The origin story of Aquarius, symbolized by the water-bearer, is most often linked to the Greek myth of Ganymede, a beautiful young mortal who was chosen by Zeus to serve the gods. Aquarius is also associated with themes of humanitarianism, innovation, and the flow of knowledge. The water-bearer symbolizes the pouring out of life-giving water, representing not only literal sustenance but also spiritual and intellectual nourishment. Ganymede was a Trojan prince, known for his extraordinary beauty. He was the son of Tros, the founder of the city of Troy, and the most handsome of all mortals. His beauty was so remarkable that it caught the attention of Zeus, the king of the gods. In the myth, Zeus became captivated by Ganymede's beauty and decided to bring him to Mount Olympus to serve as the cupbearer to the gods, a prestigious position previously held by Hebe, the goddess of youth. In some versions of the story, Zeus transformed himself into a giant eagle and swooped down from the heavens to abduct Ganymede, carrying him off to Olympus. As the god's new cupbearer, Ganymede's role was to pour ambrosia and nectar, the drink of immortality, for the gods. In return, Zeus granted him immortality and eternal youth, ensuring that Ganymede would remain beautiful and forever serve the gods. To honor Ganymede, Zeus placed him in the sky as the constellation Aquarius, the water-bearer, where he pours water from a jar. Aquarius is represented by the water-bearer, but the sign is not associated with water itself, as Aquarius is an air sign. Instead, the pouring of water symbolizes the flow of knowledge, ideas, and innovation that Aquarius is known for. Ganymede, as the water-bearer, is seen as a figure who brings life-sustaining water to the people, symbolizing the sign's connection to humanitarianism and the greater good. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the planet of rebellion, innovation, and originality, emphasizing the sign's forward-thinking and unconventional nature. Much like Ganymede, who was chosen for his unique qualities, Aquarians often stand out for their individuality and desire to bring change and progress to the world. In another myth associated with Aquarius, the water-bearer is linked to the story of Deucalion and Pyrrha, the Greek equivalent of Noah's Ark. When Zeus decided to destroy humanity because of their wickedness, he sent a great flood. Deucalion, the son of Prometheus, and his wife Pyrrha were the only survivors, as they were warned by Prometheus to build an ark. After the floodwaters receded, Deucalion and Pyrrha were instructed to repopulate the earth by casting stones over their shoulders, which transformed into humans. This myth further connects Aquarius to the themes of renewal, innovation, and the survival of humanity through intelligence and adaptability. The myth of Aquarius also has a connection to the age of Aquarius, an astrological age believed to represent a time of social progress, enlightenment, and humanitarian ideals. Aquarius, as a zodiac sign, is associated with these qualities: freedom, individuality, and the pursuit of knowledge for the betterment of society. The water-bearer symbolizes the idea of pouring out new knowledge and awakening, bringing humanity into a new age of understanding. The origin story of Aquarius centers around the myth of Ganymede, the beautiful mortal chosen by Zeus to become the water-bearer of the gods. His role in bringing life-sustaining water reflects Aquarius's connection to innovation, humanitarianism, and the flow of knowledge. Through the symbolism of the water-bearer, Aquarius represents the desire to uplift humanity, promote progress, and bring new ideas into the world. The mythological themes of abduction, service to the gods, and the nurturing of life are echoed in the Aquarian spirit of pouring out wisdom and creativity for the greater good. The origin story of Pisces, symbolized by two fish swimming in opposite directions, comes from a myth in Greek mythology involving the goddess Aphrodite and her son Eros. This myth is connected to their escape from the fearsome monster Typhon, one of the most terrifying creatures in Greek myth. The story captures themes of transformation, protection, and the ability to navigate the depths of emotions and chaos. According to Greek mythology, the terrifying giant Typhon was one of the most destructive forces ever created. Typhon was born of Gaia, Earth, and Tartarus, the underworld, as part of Gaia's revenge against the Olympian gods for defeating the Titans. Typhon was a massive dragon-like creature with 100 snakeheads, and he posed a serious threat to the gods on Mount Olympus. His sole purpose was to destroy the Olympians and take control of the heavens. During Typhon's attack on Mount Olympus, the gods were forced to flee in terror. To avoid being caught and destroyed, Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and Eros, the god of love and desire, transformed themselves into fish and leapt into the Euphrates River to escape. To make sure they stayed together and didn't get separated in the river's current, they tied themselves together with a cord. In recognition of their clever escape and their devotion to one another, Zeus, the king of the gods, honored Aphrodite and Eros by placing two fish in the sky, immortalizing their transformation as the constellation Pisces. The two fish are depicted swimming in opposite directions, connected by a cord, symbolizing the bond between mother and son, as well as the dual nature of Pisces. The two fish swimming in opposite directions are the primary symbol of Pisces, representing the duality of life, opposing forces like reality and dreams, consciousness and the unconscious, or the material and spiritual worlds. This duality is a core aspect of Pisces, which is often associated with the ability to navigate between these different realms. Pisces, as the final sign in the zodiac, is seen as a sign that integrates the lessons of all the preceding signs, embodying qualities of compassion, empathy, intuition, and spirituality. The fish swimming through water represent the Piscean ability to move through emotional depths and fluid situations with ease. In astrology, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet of imagination, dreams, and illusion, which complements the sign's association with mysticism and the subconscious. Pisces individuals are often seen as being in tune with the intangible and otherworldly, just like the fish that represent them in the zodiac. The origin story of Pisces reflects themes of transformation, adaptability, and the ability to navigate complex emotional and spiritual realms. In their myth, Aphrodite and Eros transform into fish to escape the destructive force of Typhon, symbolizing the Piscean qualities of adaptability and survival in the face of chaos. Pisces, represented by two fish swimming in opposite directions, carries with it the idea of duality and the balance between opposing forces, whether they be emotional, spiritual, or material. As the last sign in the zodiac, Pisces embodies a deep understanding of life's mysteries and a connection to the unseen and the divine.